Hey, it's Johara. Welcome back to my channel, to The Witchy Reader. So, I'm going to do my May TBR. I am participating in middle grade May, and I'm so excited. Um, I ended up pushing back some of the books I had planned for last month because I found out about this, and I figured because there are some middle grade books I wanted to read last month, which I didn't get to anyway, so it was for the best. I figured this readathon has come in at the best time, and I'm so excited for it because there's so many books that's high up on my TBR that are middle grade. So I figured, well, now's the best time for middle grade May. There's two books and I want to read this month as YA. One of them I might move to next month depending on how my reading goes this month. But one of them I do want to read this month because it's a buddy read. So yeah. I'll start with my two non-middle grade books, and this one is the one I might move to next month depending on how my reading goes. It's over 400 pages, so it's a bit thick. I feel like my reading might go well this month just because since I am reading so many middle grade, they're not that big, and I was wrong. This is over 500 pages, 588. I was wrong, but still. But yeah, it's a book I've been meaning to read. And I really enjoyed King of Scars, and I'm not procrastinating this book. It's just I've been reading other things and also writing, and life's just been so I haven't gotten to it yet. But I do really want to read it no later than next month if it does get pushed out of the way because of my readathon I'm doing this month. But I hope it doesn't because I really do want to find out what happens after King of Scars. And then my buddy read is Half-Blood Prince. I'm going to save this probably for a little bit later in the month, try to get my middle grade stuff out and done for this. But I think I can do it. It's not as thick as Goblet of Fire or Order of Phoenix, and I read them both last month. Goblet of Fire I did start the month before, but I read most of it last month. And I read them both, so if I can read a book that's over 700 pages and a book that's over 800 pages, I think I can read a book that's over 600 pages. But yeah, I'm really excited for this book. It's not my favorite out of the books. I wouldn't even put it in my top 3. I don't think. I don't know. I'm gonna do a whole rating. After I finish rereading these books, because it's been a long time since I've read these books. But the reason why I'm so excited for it is because we're finally getting some Henny, Ginny, and Harry, and I shipped them so much. And we're finally gonna get them, and we're finally gonna get a jealous Harry because we've seen a jealous Jenny already, and now we're gonna get to see a jealous Harry. And I'm so excited for that. And I'm also excited because Ron and Hermione their feelings start to progress. So they already have feelings for each other at this point, but now they're starting to realize their feelings for each other. Even if the audience was hinting at their feelings, they weren't yet. But this is when they finally were like, hey, maybe I like her. Hey, maybe I like him. But yeah. And all the stuff with Tom Riddle's past, and, so fun. But I am excited for it. So yeah, I hope to get this done. I think I can get it done once I actually, get into it. This book is when we also get some of Tonks and Lupin. Yay! I think we get more of Lupin, period, and he's like one of my favorite characters. Honestly, I always love Lupin, but I don't know. He's just kind of. I think he's like in my top 5, maybe not. Top 10 definitely. But yeah. So that's exciting, and then what the heck was that? I think that's just a fly. I hope that's just a fly. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I thought that might be a bee up for a second, and I had this bad fear about bees, and I almost had a heart attack because if that was a bee, no, just no. Last time I got too near, I don't. I don't want to have a panic attack, and that will happen. Like, there's only two things that can cause me having a panic attack: bees and wasps, which I kind of consider similar, and then elevators. So, no, thank you. I don't want that. So, back to this, and then I also think this is the book that Bill and Fleur start to become a couple. Yeah, because that would make sense because they get married in Deathly Hollows. So yeah, um, and you get more of Bill. Period. So, um, okay, and then okay, where is it? So, I got it. I also want to finish my reread of Seekers. I only have 4 books left of my reread. It's been taking me a little bit longer to reread the series than it normally does, but that's just because I've been also trying to. My reading took a backseat for a while for my writing, but also because I was trying to read so many other things, so my reread had been pushed back as well. So I wanted to read so many new things. But I'm so excited to be rereading this series, and I only have 4 books left for the entire series to read. And so I think I can do that. Yeah. Yay. I finished these books in like a day before. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but like 1, maybe even 2. I finished a book that's over 400 pages in a day. I think I can finish 2 of these in a day. I don't know if I've ever done that before, but hey, maybe I'll try that this month. Read 2 of them in a day. But yeah, so exciting to finally be finishing my reread of this series. But I'll definitely be starting the series again someday in the future. I've read them so many times already. Okay, there. Then, okay, here, I only found 2 of the books right now. I think my books got separated. I don't know, I'm going to go through my books. I'm not planning on getting rid of any of them because I don't think I want to get rid of any of them right now. All the books I own I either haven't read yet or I love too much to get rid of. But I need to go through them because it's a mess right now. But I want to reread this series. It's not as important to me as rereading the series I just mentioned, Half-Blood Prince, or the series I'm going to be mentioning next. So, I might not be able to get to these, but since these are just middle grade, I think I can also read them all. It depends also how well this month goes with my reading, especially since I am trying to get a job this month. So if I do get a job, then my reading might not. I might not be able to read as much as I hope to this month. So, yeah. But there's 6 books in this series. It's Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Famel. I consider it the unofficial Harry Potter spinoff. It's from a different author and everything, but Nicholas Famel, like he's mentioned in Harry Potter. I know he's supposed to be a real person too, but I like to think of this as the unofficial Harry Potter spinoff, just because you get to learn more about Nicholas Famel as a whole. And so that's exciting. I haven't read this. I actually, the beginning of last year, I had started rereading this series. I think I reread the first 2, maybe the first 3. But then I stopped rereading it and I never continued, and I don't even know why. I think it's because that's also when I fell into my slump. And I don't think it was this book that caught me in my slump. I just think I was working like a lot. I was working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, and so much overtime. So I didn't have time to read. And then once that started to settle down, I just lost my drive to read because I stopped reading for so long that I just didn't want to read. And it was very annoying. It's like I wanted to read, I just didn't want to read. And it was just very annoying. But yeah, so I definitely want to reread this again. attempt to reread this again, because I do like this series. The first one is called The Alchemist. The second book is called The Magician. The Like I said, I don't have the other 4 books with me. I think they're in my library. I don't know, they're somewhere. My books are a mess right now. The third book is The Sorceress. The fourth book is The Warlock? Or no, that's the 5th book. What's the 4th book called? Crap, this is going to annoy me. I just looked up what the books were called earlier today, too. Okay, so the first one is The Alchemist, second is The Magician, third is The Sorceress, and the fourth one is... Okay, that's going to annoy me. Seriously. It's on the tip of my tongue. I hate when that happens. The Necromancer, that's what it's called. Okay. The Necromancer is the 4th book. Okay. And then the 5th one is the Warlock, and then the 6th is the Enchantress. So yeah, it's been a while since I've read some of the series. Like I said, I had it started. But I'm going to reread the entire series because I can. And yeah, so I wasn't sure if this was middle grade, but when I was trying to prepare my TBR for this month, I decided to look it up because I was like, I'm not sure if this was middle grade or YA. I mean, it's not as dark, if I remember correctly, because before I attempted rereading it last year, it was been a while since I've read this series too, and if I remember correctly, it doesn't get quite as dark as Harry Potter gets. So I was like, I don't think. So I was curious if it. And then I looked it up, and according to Google, it's middle grade, so I'm going to count it because Google says it's right. So yeah. So I definitely, if you're a Harry Potter fan, and you want to know more about Nicholas Famel, I recommend giving this a try because you get to learn more about him and his wife and these twins. That's part of their prophecy. A part of this prophecy, Josh and Sophie, and then you also get to meet real people, like ancient people that are supposed to be dead but aren't, like William Shakespeare, Joan of Arc. So yeah, they're on here, and there's she's not an actual person in real life, but she is probably my favorite character. Scathatch. I'm always sure I mispronounce that name, but I really enjoy her character. She's basically a vampire. But yeah. I mean, she doesn't like to say she's a vampire, but she kind of is. But yeah, this is a good series. I recommend it. It's very underrated, so I definitely suggest giving it a whirl if you are a fan of Harry Potter and want to know more about Nicholas Flamel. Okay, and then I think this is the last of the middle grade I want to read this month is this. Percy Jackson, finally. I don't think I'll read the sequel series this month, but I do plan to read it next month. So yeah, and the sequel series seems a bit thicker, so that might be why I have no idea what age it is, so I might have to look that up. But yeah. But there are 5 books in the original series: Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, The Titan's Curse, The Battle of the Labyrinth, and The Last Olympian. I hate when books do this. I didn't realize that it was like this when I bought it, because I bought it online. But yeah. Because I don't want to see the movie poster, but anyways. But yeah. This is something I've been wanting to read for a while, and in the last couple of months, I've actually gotten really anticipated for reading it, but it kept getting pushed back because I got sick, life was busy, and then I just was busy reading other things that this just kept getting pushed back. But this month, especially since it's middle grade May, I finally want to read this. I got really in the mood for reading it because that Movie Flame YouTuber I was telling you about, he has talked about Percy Jackson a few times as well. That's probably the fandom he talks about the second most, but seriously, most of his videos are Harry Potter. But and I was watching I was bored one day. I was watching some of his videos, and I started watching some of his Percy Jackson related videos, and I got really hyped up to finally read it. I mean, I've seen the movies, but I hear them. They're really nothing like the books. And yeah, so I'm very excited to read the series finally. Um, I know it's pretty popular, and I hope it lives up to the hype. Um, I don't usually read books that have this whole hype around them. Um, I think, like, seriously, the only most of the series I read I consider underrated, or because you don't hear about them that much. Not in the booktube community, not in the book community. Period. At least I don't. Um, But Harry Potter is popular. Obviously, everyone knows of Harry Potter. Percy Jackson is pretty popular, and so is the Grishaverse these days. I mean, up until they announced the TV show Grishaverse, I hadn't really heard much about. I heard of Six of Crows on BookTube. That one was already popular, but Shadow and Bone and King of Scars I didn't hear of until the Shadow and Bone TV show was announced, and then all of a sudden everyone's talking about the books, and I'm like, My Twitter feed got all crazy with it. My YouTube got all crazy with it. I was like, wow, okay, this just skyrocketed. Um, but yeah, these are the books I hope to read this month, and I think I can. Like I said, a lot of these books aren't that thick, like just in the 300s, maybe even less. So, besides my two thick books, how big is this? Yeah, that's in the 300s too. So yeah, so that's my plan this month for middle grade May. Please like and subscribe and comment what books you plan on reading this month if you are going to participate in middle grade May. And I'll talk to you guys later.